Hi everyone! In today's video we'll be making this dress inspired by Reformation's Christine dress. Mark 15 inches on the edge of your pattern paper, then place the skirt block at the top mark. Trace just before the dart, then rotate at the tip and close the dart. Trace the rest of the skirt. Repeat the front steps to the back skirt. Add 1/2 inch seam allowance all around the back skirt. The front skirt will have the same seam allowance except no seam allowance at center front because that will be cut on fold. I'll add a PDF diagram to show where to take the darts in, so refer to that here, and I would now suggest not taking in the side, the 1/2 inch there, so just ignore that, and that's not even in the diagram PDF thing. It has like all the steps and info, so don't worry about that. Measure your bust radius and use that number to create a circle radiating out from the bust point. I used an elastic to draw the circle, but a pencil/compass tool would work better. Refer to the diagram for this part. Draw a line perpendicular to center front coming out of the bust point to the left. Draw in this cup shape with a curved ruler. follow the shape here. I just sketched it out and then draw under the arm line as shown here. Cut out the dart's bodice panels and cups as shown. Tape the front bodice cup where the dart was. Smooth out any points in the seam edge of the cups with a curved ruler. 1/4 inch around each of these pieces except add 1/2 inch to the bottom edge of the waist and no seam allowance at center front. Trace the back bodice block center back and just before the dart, then rotate the dart closed and trace around the rest stopping at the underarm. Draw a line perpendicular from center back to the underarm. Add 1/2 inch to center back and the waist, add 1/4 inch to the rest. Pin the back skirt panels right sides to the front skirt and sew at 1/2 inch seam allowance. Pin the cups left side and right sides together. Pin the bodice panel pieces right sides together as shown. Sew the bodice panel pieces with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Sew the cup pieces at a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Pin the cups to the bodice right sides together, making sure to align the bodice seam and cup seams. Sew the cups on one side at a time to ensure the seams will line up. Start at the seam and then move on to the other side. A 1/4 inch seam allowance here. Pin the bodice to the skirt right sides together and sew at 1/2 inch seam allowance. Cut a piece of fabric 3/4 of an inch by 2 times or more, up to you, the width of the top of the bodice. Iron down 1/8 of an inch, then fold and iron again, and sew that down to the hem. Sew a long stitch at the raw/serged edge 1/8 of an inch away. Pivot at the end 1 or 2 stitches, then pivot again and sew back to the beginning beside the previous stitch line 1/8 of an inch away. Gather the strip to the same width as the top of the bodice. You can sew on more pieces if more length is needed. Pin the gathered strip to the top edge of the bodice right sides together and sew on 1/8 of an inch. Cut a 2-inch strip 2 times or more the width of the skirt edge. I hemmed this off camera but did it the same as the small strip. Sew a long stitch the same way as the small strip for gathers. Gather to the width of the skirt. Sew to the skirt edge right sides together at a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Cut 4 2.5 by 22 to 30 inch long strips for the straps. Fold in half lengthwise and sew at a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Turn inside out with a safety pin. Turn in the raw edges about a 1/4 inch and sew down at 1/8 of an inch. Pin the strap under the cup about a 1/4 of an inch right at the side of the cup as shown and sew down an 1/8 of an inch away from the top of the cup. I'm using a regular zipper here. Place the center back right sides together and place the zipper on top and use a pin to mark where the metal under the zipper will be. Sew center back closed with a long stitch up to the pin, 1/2 an inch, then continue with a normal stitch length to the end. Pin the zipper to the seam allowance, sew on using a zipper foot, top stitch after, then stitch rip up to the metal bottom of the zipper.